sir.
I got last year. Canelo Crawford. Who you got?
Come on, bro. I've been telling y'all for the longest. That boy got that energy. And you know what energy I'm talking about. What is that? Tarver energy.
Yes, sir.
Tarver.
He got that. And so you know, when you get that, we don't see nobody, bro. Now he in there with a dog, Canelo. Now the Canelo footwork ain't been what it's supposed to be lately, and he hasn't fought a real threat in a long time. Now sometimes we can get so comfortable in that zone, but now you got to go down deep to get ready for Crawford. You feel me? He got to go deep. Now we don't know if Canelo still have that in him. We gonna see. We gonna see. But
Now,
coming with it, bro.
now, at Fanatics, at the second presser with Canelo and Crawford, we saw the push, we saw the shove. Do you believe that was realistic, or do you think, because Canelo today at the presser said that Turkey had told Crawford to spice it up? What do you think about those comments? You know, you a legend. You've been in there.
They can spice it up all they want. They gonna fight, bro.
You think the pressure? You think the pressure is now on Canelo not to lose to the smaller man, being Crawford?
It's pressure on both guys because both of those guys believe that they're great. You feel me? So neither one of these guys want to lose, bro. And that's the thing.
What do you make of Canelo's upcoming fight with Crawford? Or what do you think?
It's a good fight. I think it's a real good fight. I just think Crawford's too small. I just think he's too small. He had one fight at 154, and now he's moving to 168 to fight one of the best of all time. Now, Crawford is one of the best of all time himself. He's just a smaller one of the best of all time, and I think that's just what's going to be the factor here. I'm not saying he doesn't have a chance. I think he has a good chance. I think he really does. I think it's a real close fight, if anything. I just think that Canelo will win, not only because he has skill, because you have to have skill to win, especially against Crawford, who has never lost, but he's going to be... I think he might be a little too big.
Go ahead.
What you're saying is that after he knocked Crawford out, he's going to lean on the floor. How do NBA players do it when they say too small after they score?
Yeah.
He's going to run on the ring.
Like that, yeah. Nah, I mean, I think that's just what I feel like is going to happen.
Well, all I know is that if you were in a Canelo Crawford card, that card would be a million times. It's still an amazing card, but you would have added a lot. Who wins, Canelo or Crawford?
I think it's gonna be a good fight, man. I'm going for Canelo, of course. You know, he's the Mexican warrior as well. But Crawford, man, you can't neglect him, or you can't underestimate him as well. You know, he has a lot of skills, a lot of movement. He's a lefty as well. That's what Canelo has trouble with. I think it's gonna be an amazing fight, man. I just can't wait, and the best man wins.
Kenny, you agree with that? You have experience fighting Crawford. He likes the matchup. He said that. Hey, tell him what you said, Andy.
He said he got Canelo.
He's got Canelo, but
I don't know why, but
Canelo too.
but I mean that's a great choice.
Yeah,
Right?
It's just the weight jumps, you know.
The weight jump is a hell of a jump, man. That's not just a jump. He's
it's
climbing a
his first
ladder.
fight.
He's climbing a ladder, and some of the legs on the ladder ain't there for him to grab on.
It's his first
and he
fight,
got to jump
too,
over a
you
lot
know?
of.
Do you give Terence Crawford any chance to beat Canelo?
I don't see it happening, but he could definitely prove me wrong. But I just think, bro, like, I mean, I've trained with Canelo. I've been around him. Bro can really push back heavyweight. So I don't know how he's, like, because this is the first time Canelo's actually bigger than somebody in a long time. So it's like the weights are lifted off, and now he could fight even more freely, you know? So I'm actually interested to see, bro. I can't wait for the fight. I'm definitely going to be backing Canelo, but, you know, Crawford is a great fighter, and he could surprise me. But right now, where I would put my money is Canelo Alvarez.
what are your thoughts on Crawford moving up 2 divisions, and how much of a chance you get him against Canelo?
Well, it's a big jump for sure, but you know, I feel like Crawford definitely has a great chance. You know, I feel like it's a 50-50 fight. You know, I really don't know who will come out on top of that one. I just feel like the better man that night will win. So you know, I feel like the fans are the winners in that one.
How do you see this fight between Canelo Alvarez and Terence Bud Crawford playing out? And who do you have and why, bro? Educate us a little bit on what you see and what you so far know, man.
Everybody has their own take, right? Crawford's the best skilled fighter ever. Canelo has power. He's on his decline. It's interesting because Canelo, doesn't throw as many punches as he used to. They say he's on his decline. Crawford, he's a very skillful fighter, very smart. I've actually had the opportunity to spar with Crawford, and it's always respect between me and Crawford. Me and my family may not get along with the Davises or his stablemates. But at the end of the day, whenever we see Crawford, he'll go out of his way to say hi to my dad, to myself. So it's always respect with him, and I have a lot of respect for Crawford and what he's done. I just feel there's respected weight classes for a reason. You saw Canelo when he moved up to 175 when he fought Bivol. You saw what happened there.
Yeah.
And I just feel Crawford is one of the best fighters ever, and he could fight in any respective weight class. Excuse me, he could fight in any generation in his respective weight class. I feel Canelo's going to be too much. I feel in the early rounds, I feel he could catch him with shots. Maybe Canelo will get frustrated by picking him up the way Canelo always gets frustrated. But I just feel Canelo will find him out. I think in the 8th, 9th, 10th round, the championship rounds, I believe he could stop him, or if not, get him out of there. I just think it's the weight, bro. My whole thing is, can Crawford take Canelo's best punch? If he could do that, and he has to fight a perfect game plan, like Benavidez, but like Benavidez's dad said, it's gonna be a Tom and Jerry type of fight, which I feel it'll be a Tom and Jerry fight if Crawford wins. If he sits there and wants to, exchange with Canelo, I feel that's not the right game plan. But I feel both know everything's on the line. Pride, your country behind you, everything, right? So
Right.
I think both fighters are going to be in the best shape of their life. And regardless of what the critics have to say, we're going to see September 13th what happens. I feel Canelo's going to be a little too much for Crawford, but and I see Canelo pulling it through. But this is boxing, and things can happen. So we're in for a great fight.
September 13th, man. Canelo Alvarez, Terence Crawford. What's your thoughts, brother?
I have Canelo.
Canelo all the
Canelo's
way.
comfortable at 168. Crawford's going up. Crawford looks good at 168.
Yeah.
But, again, this is going to be his first fight. And he looked great at 154, but there's still, I feel that there's some things that maybe he was lacking going up on that weight, and now he's going up 2 more weight classes. So we'll see how he reacts to the weight.
Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford, the press conference is tomorrow. Who wins that fight? How?
I'm starting to lean towards Crawford. I thought Canelo was too big at the beginning, but I'm starting the more time passes, I think the more chance Crawford has. I think I could see Crawford winning that fight. I'm probably edging towards Crawford.
Absolutely, Paulie. Thank you so much for your time. Johnny Boy, fight hype.
What were your thoughts on Canelo Crawford?
Actually, I love that fight. With that fight, I went back and I was sitting and marinating on it. At first, I couldn't pick a side for real because they both are good fighters, and we all know good fighter, check. But you got a good smaller fighter and a good bigger fighter. The good bigger fighter got the advantage. But then I started thinking about it. Roberto Duran jumped 2 weight classes and beat the man, Sugar Ray Leonard. Shane Mosley jumped 2 weight classes and beat the man, Oscar De La Hoya. So why Crawford can't do it? So with that being said, I'm going for Crawford in that fight.
Mikey, Canelo Crawford is 8 weeks away, 7 weeks away. Has your mind changed on what could potentially happen? And what did you make of the ultimate interaction between them where Crawford tried to press Canelo? And
I didn't see that. I don't really watch a lot of stuff, honestly. I'll see highlights whenever it goes out there. I didn't follow it, but I think some of that is promoting. Some of that is hyping the fight. But I still think Crawford's going to win.
Yeah.
I think Crawford's going to box him.
Do you think the layoff is going to be important heading into this fight for Crawford? Obviously he's going to be gaining weight, but he hasn't been in the ring since last August, like a little bit over a year.
He's been training. He's got the skill level, IQ.
There was rumors that Mayweather is supposedly training Crawford for the Canelo fight. I don't know if that's true or not, but that's one of the bigger stories right now that Mayweather could potentially be of some kind of service to him heading into this fight.
He might be able to give some advice, but I mean Crawford has the IQ just as good as Floyd. It's not necessary. It's not like he's changing a style. It ain't no secret. Crawford's gonna box. Crawford's gonna try to outbox Canelo, counterpunch him. So I don't know if there's any need for having someone else right there. Crawford knows what to do.
You faced Crawford in the amateurs, and I think Top Rank asked you who's the guy out there if we should sign anyone, and you pointed him towards Crawford.
They were asking him because he had signed, I think, originally with like TKO or something. With Cameron Duncan had put him with TKO, possibly something like that. But they had asked about what I think about Crawford when they were looking into him. He was already pro, and I told him Crawford is a very good fighter. He can go right-handed, left-handed, smart fighter.
Back in that day, that wasn't normal. Being switch stance wasn't normal.
He did it. When I fought him, he fought as a southpaw, and so his height, his reach, everything was so complicated. You know, it was like he outpointed me big time. And so when Top Rank was asking, I said, yeah, you guys should definitely sign him.
They did, and they did great with him. But I do think Canelo sweeps him.
Canelo?
He's going to get hit. It's going to be a mere fight. He's going to win a couple rounds and then get flipped.
He could. Canelo's got the power to do it.
That's what I'm saying.
I think Crawford is too smart to get hit.
He's going to run on him. We'll see
He's going to box. He's going to counterpunch.
Let's see.
Skull probably ran. I think Crawford's going to counterpunch and outbox. It's a difference.
I got to ask you this. Crawford, Canelo. How does it end?
Me, I'm gonna say I've been saying Canelo, but I think Crawford might pull something. You know
why?
I think that the odds are in his favor as far as that. You know, the reason why people are gonna tune in is not just because of Canelo. It's gonna be mainly because of the Crawford. How is he gonna do going up? You know, 2 more weight classes. You know, especially after the Madrimov fight that he had in last year.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the problem though. Crawford is fighting too many. He's not fighting a lot. He's fighting once every year. That's bad.
He's a 3-division undisputed champ. He deserves respect. Canelo called out his resume. He said, who have you fought?
Yeah.
He named Pistol and Ricky Burns off the jump, but he has way many names. What do you think about Crawford's resume, and why do you think Canelo questioned it?
I mean, because everybody will, right? All right, who have you beaten? And
is there everyone's resume can be questionable though? Like,
no.
If you really look at it and break it down and like.
No, it's just I think what Canelo's really tapping into is mainly like who is it that you face that's been at number 1, you know, other than Errol Spence.
Bud versus Canelo?
Man, I'm gonna go on a real. See, people don't like when I say like the stuff that I really like. I truly believe, but people be wrong and I'll be right.
But that's okay. But that's what the people at Fight Hype appreciate. So you can say whatever you want on Fight Hype.
I think Bud to beat Canelo. I think at whatever weight, I think, you know, I think Bud Forrest, this is why I think he'll beat Canelo. I think if he box and use his feet work, Canelo won't be able to find him. And I think he'll be too sharp, too fast. Whereas Canelo is strong, but you got to land them punches on Bud. And I just don't see him loading up hooks. And I mean, he is bigger, so people will say I'm tripping, but honestly, I feel like at this stage right now, and they don't even got to do 68. I say they do like a catch weight, 65 or something, and I feel like Bud to beat Canelo.
Wow, that's crazy. He said at 65. That's crazy. That's crazy.
Y'all don't understand how strong. I'm telling you, I done been in the gym with this dude. This man done put down heavy weights. Like, I done seen some amazing shit from this dude. Like, I've been trying to tell people, but people don't listen to me. I'm telling you, man.
Now it's just like, whoever great, just make them fight each other. You know, whoever look great type shit. But, you know,
is that where we stand right now with Canelo Crawford? Yeah. Is that where we stand with Canelo Crawford? Because you're saying just because both are great, everybody wants to face each other. So is that where we're at right now with Canelo Crawford?
No. Crawford needs the money.
Crawford needs the money?
You think he had a chance to win?
But what makes you say that? You know, I mean,
he needs the money.
Does he have a chance to win though?
Tyron ain't paying like that. And they ain't paying
so you don't
think they ain't paying like that.
He's going up 3 or 4 weight classes. You think the chances of him?
That's why he say why he don't like me. That's real shit.
Going up those weight classes to face him, you know, how can you convince fans that he can beat Canelo?
I ain't trying to convince y'all that he can beat Canelo. He's a good fighter. But, bro, I would say smaller fighters are always better than bigger fighters because they're smaller, they're not moving like that. But this guy is great at what he do. He got. And another thing, bro, I don't be wanting to. How these guys is. Then he get hurt against
Imagine off.
who?
There you talking about
Gamboa? Talking about Gamboa?
No, he got clipped by
Gamboa?
Gamboa, right? Right? The fuck he's looking this strong over the past year. I mean, these years. He ain't been getting clipped or nothing. So now, that's that snack shit. I'm telling you.
Shane, what do you think about Canelo and Crawford?
I think Canelo's too big for Crawford. I think Canelo's too big for Crawford. I think that the reason why, if Crawford was a mover like the rest of the fight, then maybe he can have a good chance with Canelo. But I think that being that Crawford is a fighter, that's gonna be dangerous. That's gonna be his problem. He's a fighter. He wants to fight. He can move a little bit, but his heart is not in moving. So he's gonna have to sit there and fight with Canelo. If you sit there and fight with Canelo, and he's that much bigger than you, then I don't know. But everybody think, Crawford, he's a great boxer. He's this, he's that, which he is. He's a great fighter, and I think he's a great fighter at 140, 47, and he seems just to be, good at 54. Now we're going to 68.
How many more tricks has Canelo learned since you last fought him? Like
he's a veteran now. Come on, he's been in the ring with everybody.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like from light heavyweight all the way down to 54.
What about Crawford? Not familiar? What about Canelo Crawford? What about Canelo Crawford?
Let's just say Canelo Crawford, in the history of boxing, and this is the facts.
Let's get it.
If you see Thursdays, Back Thursdays, I speak the facts. All right? I'll even do it for you. A good little man has never beaten a good big man in the history of the game, unless you go back to certain situations with Pacquiao beat me, but I was a dead man walking anyway. But a good little man never beats a good big man, so it's a tough test for Crawford, but I'm not counting him out.
But what about Canelo? Is he kind of like not in there anymore? Is this a bad time to pick Crawford because now he's hungry? Canelo's not really testing himself with these fights, and now he's going to fight this guy who's getting till September to be one.
Look, the bottom line, and this is the truth again, it's a money grab. That's it.
Wait, sorry, we'd be wrong, Roy, to not ask you. It's a hot topic right now, just switching gears. Bud, Canelo, done deal. Looks like the fight is signed. What's your thoughts on this fight, man?
Man, it's a great fight for boxing. I know people don't agree with it, but if Canelo fights one inkling of the wrong fight, he's going to lose. If he comes out and fights the right fight, it's going to be a tough one. So right now, I think it go either way, but it depends on what type of fight Canelo fights.
You've been a guy that's been up in weight class. How do you think Terence Crawford should handle the weight? Should he come in lighter? Should he come right around the weight limit?
Come in as big as he can get. If you get to the weight limit, because there is a weight limit, get to the weight limit.
And when we talk about big fights, Canelo and Crawford, looks like they're signed for September. What do you think about those two?
Yeah, I mean, it's exciting, Terence is not a regular guy. You know what I'm saying? He's special. And, Canelo, he's a top-notch fighter, world-class fighter. Still on the pound-for-pound list, I'm sure towards somewhere near the top. And it's exciting.
Who you got, though?
I'm just a fan that night, watching.
Gotcha.
How much of a chance do you give Terence in that fight? Obviously stepping up in weight, it's such a big jump. Do you give him a good chance in that fight though against Canelo?
I give him a chance. Terence is freakishly strong. He can punch. He's got good crack. He can fight from both ways. Orthodox, southpaw. He can fight at mid-range, close range, outside. And he can fight going both ways. So it's exciting. It's exciting. It's a big question mark on the end of it though. So that's why, I'm sure all of us are excited for that bell to ring and, be able to find out firsthand.
Caleb, having been in the ring with Canelo, what does Crawford have to kind of look for or avoid, or what, kind of tips do you give a
I would just encourage Terence to be himself. As I said before, from the inside, mid-range, outside, southpaw, right hand, moving left, moving right. He can do it all. So I would encourage him to stay relaxed, go in there, have fun, have a good camp, and let the dice roll, right?
I gotta ask you, you paid Terence Crawford a visit. You saw him with the added side. You saw him in the gym without giving away too much. Can you give me a little bit of insight on what you saw and what you like?
My thing when I watch fighters, I want to see what you're thinking. I have the ability to actually look into your mind and see, how that thing is turning, He sparred the day that I went over there and saw him, and when he got out of the ring and we stood there and talked a while, he confirmed everything that I thought I was seeing, So he's verging that peaking process. He's getting stronger. Still loving it, which is, to me, that's the biggest part of it. When you have a level of passion for something that passion is commanded of you, he's got all that. Went to his house afterwards, and just to see his family, friends, the whole team, everybody staying in the same house, eating the same food. He's comfortable. But for someone who's been uncomfortable for a long time, he knows how to balance it. You know what I mean? And so I like everything that I saw from Crawford's camp. I didn't really make a move to get into Canelo's camp. Not sure if I would be invited in. Would love that opportunity. So maybe in this week we'll entertain that. I got a free weekend coming.
I don't know if you can share this part, but what size was the guy he was sparring? What weight was he at?
Big guys.
Yeah,
big guys. Guys that were right around the 6 foot mark. Guys that were right around that 200-pound mark. Nothing new for Terence Crawford. I want to remind people of that. Like, get in the ring with Canelo Alvarez. Terence is not going to see anything that he hasn't seen before. No, he hasn't seen this beast on fight night, but he's seen versions of this beast for a very, very, very long time. Another thing to note is people have said that he's a blown up 147-pound fighter. If you remember, he said it was hard for him to make 147 when he fought Errol Spence Jr. I was like, yo, how is that possible? I didn't realize he was really doing everything that's needed to gain the weight properly. Most fighters don't know how to gain weight and fit into a weight class properly. He's done that. So it's going to be a great fight.
Your thoughts on September the 13th?
I think it's a great fight. I mean, it's two guys that are coming towards the back end of their careers, but two legends, pound for pound legends of the sport. A fascinating fight between two guys with tremendous ring IQ. I guess the big conversation is how the weight will affect Bud and how he will respond to the size. We got a situation where in Los Angeles, Crawford didn't look that big against the 154. In fact, I thought Madrimov looked the bigger, the stronger guy in that fight. I thought it was a very, very close fight, that fight. Now you're going up 2 divisions at 168 for Canelo Alvarez, who is, a pound for pound legend of the sport. Against Skull, he didn't look great. The movement didn't look great. I didn't think his legs looked fantastic. And I think if Terence Crawford decides to box elusively in this fight, I think he's going to really have success. When he gets hit, that's really the $1 million question. How can he hang at 168? When you spend time with both of them, they're both so confident, you actually can't see him losing. Bud talks a brilliant game, and he's walked the walk continuously. And he has probably the best boxing IQ in the game. I probably, and Canelo's my guy, but I probably lean slightly to Crawford in this fight, which me and you debated over a coffee downstairs. I think you maybe go the other way, but I think that Canelo will be a favourite going in, but it wouldn't surprise me at all if Crawford could do it. It'd be really interesting. I think Bivol really did set the blueprint of how to beat Canelo Alvarez. What you do is you're slick, but you throw punches in bunches, you move into range, bomb, out of range. You do it again, because Canelo's not that active. He doesn't throw a lot of punches, and he hates movement, hates it. Crawford's got Crawford to be honest, Crawford's got to probably make it a little bit of a stinker. Do you know what I mean? And just don't worry about the crowd booing like they do in America after one round. Like, you've just got to go in there and just win rounds. And I think Crawford will win rounds in those fights.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Especially the early rounds. So Canelo may have to do something and try and, because he's not that active. I don't think he really wants to work that much.
What do you think of him when he fought Belanga? Dropped him in the second round, hard left hook, was freakish left hook.
Yeah, but I mean, when was the last time Canelo got a stoppage?
Caleb Plant.
Yeah, and that was a good stoppage.
Vegas.
But beyond that, I mean,
he couldn't get Belanga out.
Billy Joe. Yeah, what was that? Like 4 years ago. That was
huge.
Yeah, but that was busted
Jesus,
arse.
electric that night.
Yeah.
Wasn't that electric?
Biggest indoor boxing attendance ever.
72?
75,000.
Wow.
Yeah. That was a great night. But listen, Canelo he's incredible. You just don't know physically. You know, the knee, the hands,
Just
the
had a
elbow.
baby.
Yeah. So, but it's a great fight. Looking forward to it.
This is what's going to happen.
Okay.
This is exactly what's going to happen.
With Canelo Crawford?
Yeah, Canelo Crawford.
Break it down.
Crawford's going to go in there and box Canelo's head off the same way Amir Khan did, and out of nowhere, boom!
And then he's going to see the canvas.
And then we're going to see some dead roach on the ground.
Which, by the way, Amir Khan was doing a good job of outboxing.
No, wasn't doing a good job. Was doing the best job ever. Yeah, but that was the best boxing lesson for fucking 6 rounds ever.
But the difference in that fight, though, is that Canelo, and you could see it coming, Canelo was adjusting to Amir. Amir was doing the same shit.
And what weight was that fight at? 54 or 60?
I think it was 54.
You sure it was 54? It wasn't 60?
I'm not sure.
Either way, Amir Khan moved up.
He did. It might have been at 160 because I think you're right. I think he moved up 2 divisions.
He moved up. Oh, and now we're talking about dude moving up 2.5 divisions.
Right.
To box. He might box his head off.
But
don't he get cracked, bro?
But whenever I'm thinking about a Canelo fight, I'm just thinking, what can this opponent possibly do that's gonna make Canelo have a bad day? Because Canelo's gonna be Canelo and give people problems. If you can't be his problem, he will be your problem. That's what it's like fighting Canelo Alvarez. If you cannot be his problem, like Bivol had no problem with Canelo Alvarez. Do you want to know why? Because Bivol was the problem for Canelo Alvarez. Floyd Mayweather was a problem for Canelo Alvarez. That's the only way to beat Canelo Alvarez is you become his problem. If he is your problem, then you got a problem.
Yeah, and Floyd and Bivol, the movement that you alluded to, being able to move and stay out of,
Well, Floyd used his head movement. Floyd used his shoulder roll. Floyd used counters and accuracy and different things. Floyd had to be in the pocket. See, Bivol didn't have to be in the pocket because Bivol was the bigger man. Bivol had the better reach. Bivol could throw the 1, the 2, and the 1 and keep Canelo at a distance. Even when he had him on the ropes, Bivol did not go 1, 2, and hook to the body or hook to the head. Because once you come in on the hook is a shorter punch, which brings you in the range of where Canelo would want Bivol. And Bivol is known for his robotic approach. He's going to box you like some freaking AI machine that's gunning towards victory and not towards excitement for the fans. I'm yelling at Bivol, hit him with a hook, throw a hook. He don't hear Keith Thurman. He don't care about what Keith Thurman's saying to the TV. Bivol is a robot. He goes 1, he goes 2, and he goes back with the 1, maintaining the superiority of dominance with his reach, staying out of the range. And that was the problem that he was bringing to Canelo, not allowing Canelo to be a problem to him. And so, Crawford's not going to have like a tremendous reach advantage or anything spectacular, on that end. So he's going to have to do more of a hybrid approach, pick his shots, get in, smother, just use all the tactical stuff closer to a Floyd Mayweather, mixed in with his own boxing IQ. And if he brings that masterclass Einstein approach, E equals MC squared, I mean, if you're not pulling out all the methodical things, I mean, you're just lowering your cases of getting a victory over Canelo Alvarez. Can you have a good fight? You can have a good fight. You want a victory over Canelo Alvarez? You better bring out the textbook strategy, Einstein approach. I mean, you just better be 100% methodical about it and execute your game plan. Floyd did it. Bivol did it. I think others can do it. I thought others would do it, and they didn't. So many great fighters fell short. When the first victory that I did not expect from Canelo Alvarez after the Floyd Mayweather loss was Undisputed Laura. I did not expect Canelo Alvarez to get the victory over Undisputed Laura. I thought Undisputed Laura was going to be able to outbox, do what needs to be done, methodically approach, and beat the very tough Mexican fighter. And he was not able to do it. So there have been other fights like that where I thought capable fighters would be capable, but come fight night, they were incapable. So, like I said, it's a good fight. I'm not in it. I'm not betting on it. I'm just going to sit down, shut my mouth, and watch. But obviously, I'm going to interact with some people and have some talks about it. I think we're going to see two world-class fighters. I do believe that Crawford can do some very good tactical stuff, but he has to go in with the right mindset, the right approach, have the right training camp to issue that right performance. But otherwise, you know, Canelo's a problem for everyone.
Terence Crawford and Canelo look like they might be set to fight later on this year. You gotta pick in that fight. How do you see that fight even playing out?
That's a tough one. I mean, I think Terence got tremendous skill set. But I don't know, because he's jumping 3 weight classes. You know, I mean, at 154, he didn't look as good as Terence Crawford that we know. But, you know, anybody can have a bad night. But the thing is that, I mean, it's kind of like, I would say it's kind of like when you fight Tank. When you fight Tank, you can beat Tank up almost every round, but at some point, he might find you. And I mean, with Canelo being at 68 and being at 68 as long as he's been, I mean, I think that Crawford's going to probably give him a great fight as well. But I lean slightly toward Canelo, and that's just because of the size, not because of the skills.
You've been in boxing for a long time. Have you seen someone do a feat so drastic, jump a ladder, climb the ladder so high and be successful? I know many have tried, but would this be like the all-time most pound-for-pound move that you've seen from a fighter?
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, there's been a lot of great fighters that have won multiple titles. I mean, you look at Manny Pacquiao, started at 106 pounds, went all the way up to 52, or 54, I mean. So, I mean, there's a lot of great fighters out there. I mean, even my nephew, I mean, he won multiple titles too. And there's a lot of fighters that won multiple titles, but the thing is that Terence is doing it a little different. He's doing it different because he's going from 54 to 68. That's a big jump.
And he was undisputed at 40 and 47 before doing that.
Yeah.
So undisputed at 40, undisputed at 47, title at 54, then skip 60 and go to 68 and fight pretty much the face of boxing in Canelo.
Yeah, the face of boxing. I mean, don't get me wrong. I think he got the skills. I do think he has the skills, but I just don't know what's going to happen when that started the heat of the battle. You know, I mean, because this man Canelo is a good fighter too. It's not like Canelo ain't no scrub. You know, I think that Terence Crawford has a much better skill set, but I don't know if that's just gonna be enough to win.
Canelo can control what's going on inside that ring. That's what makes him dangerous. You know, Canelo's the type of fighter that can slow down the pace of a fight. You know, his style has slowed down a bit, I would say, to where he doesn't move as much. You know, he's plodding forward at 168 pounds. He's strong. He believes in his power. He's kind of developed a set of combinations to where, you know, he's looking to land certain power shots. I think the difference in this fight is going to be the fact that Crawford can fight from the southpaw stance. Canelo he fought Billy Joe Saunders just recently. He fought against Ryder. You know, Billy Joe was more fleet-footed, but didn't have, you know, too much of pop. So he would come forward and he would pressure him. But he's not as smart as Crawford. You know, Crawford is extremely smart, great counterpuncher. And Crawford will commit. He will commit with his offense. Whereas Billy Joe, he was a little, you know, a little sketchy in certain areas. He moved in certain areas to where Canelo knew he had the perfect punch for him, which was with that right hand, where he busted his eye socket. But Crawford doesn't have those type of tendencies that, you know, Billy Joe has. So from the southpaw stance, I'm going to tell you the advantage that I believe Crawford has. Canelo, if you watch him against orthodox fighters, he beats that lead shoulder. You know, he targets the lead shoulder with that backhand. The only difference is from the southpaw stance, he won't have that ability to be able to kill the shoulder of Crawford. So that's one great area that Crawford, you know, could have the upper hand because, again, he's not going to get that lead shoulder beat like a Bivol got his lead shoulder beat with that right hand. But the only downside to that is that he's not going to have the shoulder, but he's going to have that head. And this is where Crawford has to be smart because Canelo has that looping right hand, you know, and he looks to land it around that guard. So for Crawford to be effective, he's going to have to make a miss. You know, not necessarily catch, but make him miss more times than allowing him to land and catch shots. I think Crawford has that ability to make a miss. You know, he knows it's coming. Canelo has a certain set of combinations that he likes to throw against the southpaw. I know it. You know, he likes to close distance with the double jab. Again, the head sits a little further back when you're facing a southpaw. Sits a little further back because it's coming from this angle. Now, you got to be able to close distance in that. And the way that Canelo does is he uses the double jab and he either shoots that looping right hand or he goes down to the body with it. Crawford's going to know that. You know, Crawford's going to have something for it. And at the same time, when Canelo throws that backhand, he exposes himself. He drops the opposite hand. Well, Crawford has a beautiful check right hook that he can land on him, you know, and turn that corner. So I see various things like that. I see the 2-1 combination being a factor as well. Canelo, that's a punch that Canelo gets hit with often with southpaws. I think Crawford has one of the better 2-1 combinations. You saw it against when he fought against Kell Brook. You know, he used it very, very well against him. Canelo, again, is a plotter. Canelo is a superior, boxer puncher. He likes to think. And Crawford is all about the thinking game. He doesn't mind taking his time and controlling the space in between, using his jab. He has a 74-inch reach versus a 71-inch reach, so he has a 3-inch reach advantage. He can keep him outside with the stick, you know, keep him guessing, you know, feinting him from the outside, just controlling Canelo because Canelo likes to be in position and have his feet in position before he lets his combinations fly. Canelo if his balance is not right, Canelo's not going to be shooting punches. He's not going to throw. I'm telling you. You know, Canelo is the type of guy that likes to have his feet planted, and then he has a quick first step. Then he'll let his offense go. Either left hook to the body, you know, left hook upstairs, and he will shoot the jab against the southpaw as well. But I think Crawford, again, has a more control. He's just smart, man. You know, Canelo and Crawford. Canelo has a high IQ, but I think that Crawford has a even higher IQ than Canelo Alvarez. And I feel that he can do a lot, much more inside that ring. A lot of this stuff, maybe you guys might understand. You might understand it. You might not. I'm saying a lot. I'm saying a lot right now, man. You know what I mean? The boxing, the true diehard boxing that know the X's and O's, they know what I'm talking about. And Canelo being a plotter, you're here. If you go there, he has to reposition. As he's repositioning, pop, 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 you're able to land and counter. So I feel that Crawford having a high IQ, having the southpaw stance, having the punch arsenal needed, he's going to be able to avoid the big punch, plus land his offense and be able to control Canelo. Whereas all these other fighters that don't have the high IQ and don't have the ability to be able to slow down Canelo and not allow Canelo to get in position to where Canelo is successful. And that's mid-range. If Crawford's mid-range, he's dead meat. He needs to be all the way in the pocket or all the way out. If he does that, he can win the fight. Of course, Canelo will ramp up the intensity, as the fight goes on. Crawford's going to have to be in dog shape. I'm talking about dog shape, and people don't realize that being in dog shape doesn't mean just, working out and lifting weights and, running 24/7. That means that your nutrition got to be on point. So anybody want to know why Crawford is how he is because he lives a clean life. Crawford has never intaken any kind of drugs or any kind of illegal substance in his body. You take care of yourself from that aspect, you have an advantage. If you're eating healthy and he eats healthy, he takes care of himself even after he gets done fighting. So that's an advantage. That's stamina in itself. You're giving your cells the nutrients, your muscles the nutrients they need to function at a high level and to be efficient when you need oxygen. And he has that ability. I feel that Canelo fades late too. I mean, don't take a rocket science to see that. 66 fights, worn down. As the fight goes on, he's going to wear down little by little. The harder he tries, the more he gets hit. He's going to have to on the back end. He's going to have to push himself because I know Crawford on the back end. If he's down on the cards, he's going to step on the gas. Canelo has been showing the fade. I say 8th round. By the 8th round, he starts to slow down a bit. He starts to get hit with offense. Go back and watch a lot of his fights that he fought against Ryder. Ryder was catching him with uppercuts up the middle. Ryder was able to bag him up. You can go back and you can watch the fight when he fought against what's that boy named? Munguia. Munguia was able to put combinations on Canelo. Canelo was standing there with that high guard, bringing his hips forward, and being stuck in the mud, and Canelo wouldn't punch until he got done. Well, if Crawford decides to go forward and let his combinations go, guess what's going to happen? Canelo's going to be blocking. But then Crawford ain't going to be there to take anything afterwards. So, I mean, there's a lot of areas where I see that Crawford can have the advantage, man. The disadvantages is mid-range. You stay mid-range, you're doomed. If you all the way inside, you got total control. So these are various things that I see, man.
You don't think the size is going to be an issue at all?
That's why I say, look, that's why I say he got to be in dog shape. He got to be in dog shape because he could face in the tank. He got to, the tank is Canelo. He got to be in dog shape because he's going to punch him and he's going to punch him and he's going to punch him. He's going to feel like he can't hurt him, but he just got to keep punching. And that's why he got to be in tip top shape in order to deal with that. Now the size on the inside, no, hell no. Absolutely not. Wrestling background. Wrestling background is technique. Crawford has a wrestling background that's going to help him, especially inside the pocket. If Canelo's not punching and they're fighting for position on the inside, hand placement, putting your arms, underlocks, overhooks, underhooks, Crawford going to win that battle every single time. Again, it's the time at which you do things inside that ring. And you have the great technique to be able to and understand when you need to do them. As soon as the clinch happens, I mean, you can back a guy up real quick. You can turn him. Crawford has all those abilities, man. He understands leverage and understands his strength and body. So when you fought against Spence, everybody was like, Spence is strong. Spence is stronger than Crawford. And Crawford got in there and threw Spence around that ring like he was nothing. You know what I'm saying? Crawford fought against Madrimov. Everybody like, well, he's strong. Yeah, he's strong. He's strong. But shit, Crawford was strong too. And he kept him under 300 punches, thrown in 12 rounds. Do the math. Go ahead and give me the average. Do the math. Under 300 punches in 12-round fight. And he fighting against a bull that like to throw combinations, that like to, put his combinations together. Why do you think he slowed him down? IQ. Also, he didn't want to get hit with that offense that was coming back. Whether you say it wasn't effective or not, yes, it was. He felt those punches and he wasn't willing to take that risk because he knew what was attached to that. It was going to be hurt attached to that. So, I think Crawford has the ability to slow down Canelo even more. I look at a fight like Berlanga, who was 200 and something pounds, of course. But the subtle things, I look at the subtle things, what Berlanga was doing to isolate Canelo, to keep Canelo at bay. He wasn't necessarily hitting him. He didn't have to. Canelo's a thinking fighter. All you got to do is make him think, and he will slow the fuck down. You got to make him think. Crawford can make him think and slow him the fuck down.